Let's get it.
Hey, it's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please take a minute, like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notification. If you're into trucking, you need to be here. Tonight, we're going to talk about what leasing on really means in trucking. The reason I'm doing this show is because I've had so many crazy questions this week that I just had to answer. There was so much going on, and so many people called me this week that just had, there's just a lack of knowledge out there as to what leasing on actually is and what it isn't. So today we're going to dispel the myths. All right. So before we go too far, this is our lease on and dispatch information. Should you need help with one of those, please reach out, give us a call, and we'll see what we can do to help you. What's leasing on really mean in the trucking industry? Facts versus myths. Okay. That's what our subject is tonight, and that's what we're going to dive into. Oh, I missed it. Excuse me, guys. Before we get too started, we're going to thank our veterans and first responders for all they do and all they continue to do and all they've done for this country, as we would not be the country we are without them. All right, gas prices. Diesel prices are down to an average of $3.47.7. I think it's $3.30 something here in town. And yeah, so that's where we're at. That's down to almost 2.5 cents from a week ago. All right, in the news, just real quick, couple pieces of decent news. Class 8 truck orders roar back, but market recovery questions remain. Now, my thought process on that are the bigger trucking companies are betting on the come. And if you don't know what that means, is in poker, you're throwing money down, betting on a card. Okay, you're betting on the next card, praying that it hits. Most likely it won't, because the house always wins. But transportation capacity, listen to this, hits a 4-year low in December. Okay, capacity means the number of trucks available. The Tuesday report acknowledged the impact that English language crackdowns have made, but said the proliferation of the holiday season deliveries likely had a larger impact on capacity in December. Okay. So even though they acknowledged it, they did come back and say, hey, but we think it was because of the holiday season. All right, guys, pictures of the week. This is Anthony. He's running. So, I mean, we hit the ground running. You know, you heard me. You guys heard me whining there a few days ago about, or last week or something about, being slow and being bored. Well, let me tell you, I'm running around like a cat with his ass on fire right now because it is crazy out here. So this is Anthony. He's running Bobcats. We got Bryan. He's got a Lodo shook. Now, I don't know what it is. I got to teach Bryan to take a picture though. But nevertheless, he's loaded up correctly, full load, all strapped down, good to go. This is Carl. Carl just started this week. Carl's a 30-year vet of driving, joined us. He's running some culvert piping. We got Chris. Chris is back. He's running some metal. Now we got James. James is back and doing well. I think Jan had the best looking load of the week. I'd like him to brought that to my house, man. That's just something I could play with. That was pretty cool. All right, so now we got Jason. He's running something. He didn't send me a picture of the pre-tarp load, so I don't know what it looks like underneath. All right, Marty's back in the business. He's coming out of California with roofing materials. And Richard, that's some kind of cabinet. I don't know what the hell that is, but that's a big ass cabinet. And Robert. Robert's got a whole lot of stuff. So there you go. All right. So what does leasing on really mean in the trucking industry? Facts versus myths. So here we go, guys. We're getting ready to rock and roll. Don't be messing around. You need to be listening to this. We're going straight down the regulations. May shock you. You may already know it. I'm assuming that if you're wanting to watch this, you probably don't know the truth about it. So here we go. All right. When drivers hear the words lease on, usually they think of freedom, more money, less rules. It's my truck. I'm independent. But here's the problem. DOT doesn't hear freedom. DOT hears authority. The moment you lease onto a carrier, you're no longer just a guy with a truck. You're operating under their numbers, their insurance, and their safety score. And that changes everything. Today, we're going to break down what leasing on actually means. Not what Facebook groups say, not what recruiters promise, but what DOT enforces. Okay. We're going to separate facts from myths, explain why carriers act the way they do, and show you exactly who is responsible when something goes wrong. Because leasing on is not a job. Hotshot trucking is not a job. It is a business. But when you lease on, it's a legal and regulatory relationship. And if you don't understand that, you're already behind. Okay? What leasing on actually means. Leasing on means you are operating under another carrier's operating authority. Federal law treats the carrier as fully responsible for how the truck operates and is operated, who is driving it, how it is maintained, how the hours are logged, and whether it's compliant on the road. That comes straight out of 49 CFR Part 376, commonly called Truth in Leasing. Okay, you can look this stuff up, guys. All right. Plain English breakdown. The lease must be in writing. The carrier, and this is where it gets so confusing for people that they don't understand what the heck is going on, but the carrier must have exclusive possession, control, and responsibility. Okay? DOT enforcement follows the DOT number on the door, not the name on the title. This is why carriers don't have control, have control lease drivers. The regulations don't allow it. I hope you guys are understanding this and understand the seriousness of leasing on. It's the same as having, not only is it worse, but look, not only if you go out and you dick around and you screw up your own MC, nobody gets hurt but you. You go up and dick around under our MC, it hurts you and us because we're responsible for what you do. Does that make sense? Okay. Myth versus fact section. Myth 1. I'm an independent contractor, so DOT can't touch me. This is the biggest myth in trucking. DOT doesn't care what your 1099 says. DOT doesn't care who owns the truck. DOT doesn't care who pays for fuel. If you're operating under a carrier's authority, DOT holds the carrier responsible. Period. You might feel independent, but from a regulatory standpoint, you are an extension of that carrier's safety operation. Okay, the safety part of it. All right. When you lease on, you fall under the carrier's compliance umbrella. Inspections, audit, CSA points, and enforcement all attached to the carrier's DOT number. Now, guys, when you get questions, you get them written down. Mila will sort them out and get them up on stage because I know there's a shit ton of questions out there. I know I'm not breaking this down so simple that everybody's going to get it on the first pass. Okay. Myth number 2. It's my truck, so I'm the one responsible and I can do what I want. No, you can't. Ownership does not equal control in the DOT's world. You can own the truck, the trailer, the tools, the tires, and DOT will still look straight past you and go to the carrier. Why? Because federal law says the carrier has exclusive possession, control, and responsibility while leased on. Now, the fact is this: once that truck rolls under the carrier's responsibility or authority, the carrier is responsible for how it operates. And that's why carriers enforce rules drivers don't like. Period. There are rules out there. We have rules. We have a program. We have a structure. Our structure is, I don't know, maybe a little militaristic, but it's really not. I'm not that hard. But let me just tell you this. Everything that happens on me, happens on my watch. If you kill somebody, it falls on me as well as you. Okay? All right. I'm gonna throw Roman up here. He just walked in. Roman, I hope you're ready because here you come, brother. So just we'll talk about this at the end. But hey, buddy, hope you had a good day.
Hey,
all right.
How you doing?
So myth number 3: the lease protects the driver. Absolutely not. The lease protects compliance first. Look, guys, a lease is not a friendship agreement. It's not a partnership. It's not there to guarantee you loads or guarantee you income. The lease exists to define responsibility, control, financial accountability under federal regulations. Understand that these leases are mandated. I had a driver tell me, I like everything about your company, but that lease. I'm like, hey, anybody you're going to lease on to better have the same lease because that's what the regulations are. So, fact, a lease is a compliance document. It spells out who controls the operation, who pays for what, and what happens when something goes wrong. DOT requires clarity and control and responsibility. Clarity on control and responsibility. The lease must be clear. Our lease is in 12 font in plain English, and there is no small print. All right. Myth number 4. Carriers are just being greedy with rules and chargebacks. This one makes people uncomfortable, but it needs to be said. Carriers don't enforce compliance rules because we enjoy it. They enforce compliance rules because insurance companies and DOT demand it. One bad driver, one freaking terrible accident, and your insurance will either go through the roof, or your safety score will definitely be hurt, and you can get shut down. Look at what happened with those 2 Indian drivers with I think it was White Hawk. I don't want to be, but I think it was White Hawk Carriers out of California. That accident, they were shut down the next afternoon. Should have been. Appreciate it. But yeah. So every rule, deduction, or policy you hate usually exists because the carrier is protecting its authority, insurance, and the ability to stay in business. Okay? Understand that. Look at let me say this. If I could literally go out there, grab a guy off the street, throw him in a truck, and run him down the road with no consequences, why wouldn't we all do that? These rules are in place for safety. And I didn't write them. I'm just living by them. So, all right. Myth number 5 is something happens, we'll figure it out later. Hell no, we won't. No. This mindset ends leases fast. DOT enforcement doesn't happen later. Insurance claim doesn't wait. And carriers don't get a grace period. Fact, when you lease on, expectations are front loaded. If you don't understand them before you sign, you're going to learn them the hard way after you. Okay? That is a fact. So when you hear lease on, stop thinking about freedom and start thinking about structure. Does this company have a structure? Does the company you're talking to, how does it work? How is everything supposed to work? Okay. Those are questions. How much money are they going to take? How is it broke down? Okay. Because leasing on isn't about independence. It's about operating inside somebody else's regulatory house and following their rules so everyone survives. Okay? Got to do it. All right. Online questions. I put these up here because I got them this week, and I'm going to answer them straight out. First one I got that shocked me, and this also was a post on one of my videos where this guy actually asked me, can I get my own loads and run them on my own? And the post was just go get your own, lease on to somebody, get your own loads, and make your own money. Well, the answer is no. You cannot legally haul freight outside the carrier's dispatch and control while operating under a DOT authority, even if you found the load yourself. Okay? If you are leased on, the carrier must know about the load. The load must be dispatched under their authority. The load must be insured under their policy. And the movement must comply with their safety controls. Running undisclosed loads is not being independent. It is an illegal use of an operating authority. That's how authorities get revoked, businesses get shut down, insurance gets canceled. Get caught doing that. So if you hear that garbage out there, it's garbage. Next question. Why does a carrier care so much about my logs? Why does everybody care about the logs? It's the rules we play by. Because hours of service violation just doesn't hit the driver. They hit insurance, audits, and renewal pricing. They'll put a load out of service. They'll delay a load. I mean, guys, this is the most heavily regulated industry in the country, and we have rules we follow. DOT reality is this: HOS violations count against the carrier's CSA score. Patterns of HOS violations trigger audits. Audits trigger insurance reviews. Okay? It all is a pattern. Everything comes together. May not come together the way you want it, but it will come together. Your logbook can cost a carrier 6 figures over time, and that's a fact. Okay? All right. Why? Online questions. Why am I required to follow their maintenance rules? Because once the truck runs under their authority, DOT expects the carrier to have a maintenance system, not a suggestion. Plain English: pre-trip inspection, defect reporting, roadside repair timelines, out of service correction documentation. DOT doesn't care that it's your truck. They care that it's safe under that authority that you're running under. Okay? Now, things you want to understand. If you get put out of service roadside, okay, you're going to get a document that says you were out of service. That document then has all out anything, inspection pass, inspection fail comes in. It has to be sent to us or sent to your carrier. The second part of it is if you fail a roadside inspection, a copy of that has to go to the carrier. That carrier then must make sure that that repair was made and sign a document. I have to, when I've had out of services, I've had to sign a document and mail it back to the state that the write-up was in. So understand that. This is a circle. None of this stuff gets skipped. This is all this backdoor stuff a carrier has to do. All right. Why do carriers terminate leases so fast? Because DOT and insurance do not give grace periods. Period. Reality. One serious violation can trigger insurance action, raise renewal rates, end contracts with brokers. Carriers don't fire drivers emotionally. They do it defensively. Okay? I let a driver go. Down before Christmas. Not because of what he did, but because of what he threatened to do. Cut him loose. Done. You're out. So I'm telling you now that you have to be, a carrier has to be defensive. So, yeah. All right. All right. So this is why leasing on works when expectations are clear. Okay. And fails when people treat it casually. The rules don't bend for you or him or them, or you have a spatial situation. None of that works. Enforcement does not care. And the authority has to come first. I tell people you can't be at the teat and shoot the cow in the head. You can't do it. And that's what I see people try to do. They're trying to suck the teat and shoot the cow. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Leasing on isn't a good or bad thing. It works when everybody understands the relationship, and it fails when people pretend it's something that it's not. If you're a driver, listen up, drivers. If you're a driver, leasing on means you're stepping into someone else's regulatory house. Their DOT number, their insurance, their safety score, and their rules. If you're a carrier, leasing on drivers means you're accepting full responsibility for how that truck is operated, whether you own it or not, and whether the driver agrees with every policy or not. DOT doesn't negotiate expectations. Insurance doesn't accept excuses, and enforcement doesn't care how the deal was explained to you. And that is a fact. The carriers that survive are the ones that understand and enforce it. The drivers who succeed are the ones who understand it before they sign. Leasing on is not a shortcut. It is a structure. And when you lease on to somebody, you better hope they understand what the structure needs to be. How many times I've brought on lease on drivers from other companies who had leased on to other companies, and they're like, well, we didn't have to do that. I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. These are the regs. So when it's treated the right way, it absolutely works. Absolutely works. If you didn't see, I just dropped my earpiece. I was trying to be really cool about getting a hold of it, and I couldn't do it. So I just had to bend over. All right. So everything we talked about today isn't theory. It is what is enforced. It's audits and insurance, it's underwriting. That's what they're built on. Leasing on works when people respect the structure behind it. You ignore the structure and the industry will correct your ass fast. I mean, fast. Let's talk about it. What do you say, guys? We got questions? We got people in the house tonight? Let's get it.
So that was beautifully explained. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, brother. I'm trying to work my buttons over here in the back part of this.
I'm not in my normal space here. Sorry.
I know you are. You're still working, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that was well explained, man. I didn't want to interrupt it. But I think it's digestible for anybody out there who's looking into this gig. And you have to think of it like a franchise. You know how there's franchises and you're a franchisee and you go to a Chick-fil-A and open up a Chick-fil-A. You know, that's your restaurant, but I mean, can you do whatever you want? Can you sell hamburgers at a Chick-fil-A because I own it? No.
No.
There's things you have to follow, and it's sort of the same concept. You're your own business, but you're leasing on your services to someone, and they're responsible for you.
Yeah.
And they have a business to protect, a reputation to protect, a brand to protect, in the way that Chick-fil-A has a reputation to protect, a brand to
Right.
protect.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's great. Can I break up this real quick? I want to run over here and say hi to everybody before we get too far gone. All right, guys, let's see who we got. Got Miss Mila in the house, of course. She's right here. Hey, So Truckin' Ugly. So Truckin' Ugly is in the house this week. Just so you know, he's here for his. He started Monday. We've done some work on his truck and got some things done, and you know, we got it done. So we're going to try to get him a securement load for tomorrow, and we have another driver in town that's leasing on. We just so you know, we had another driver Monday. He's a 30-year vet, like I said. He come in. I rode with him for a minute, and we cut him loose. Made sure his paperwork was done correctly. So yeah, so I'm happy there. Hey, James, there's Mr. Copeland. I wish, hey, I wish you'd call me back or email me and send me your email address, because we had a really good conversation the other day. I'd like to have you on more often if you have time. We got Miss Miller's. Hey, Miss Miller, Miss Kathy Miller. We love you too, babe. Good evening. We got Trevor in the house. We got Mr. Ashford in the house. Oh, Greg Hill's in the house. Tyler Long. Now we're talking. We got Richard in the house. Jim's in the house. Kathy. Okay, we're talking again. Okay, let's go back down and see if I see any more. We got Mad Mannequin. Kelly. Okay, I think I got everybody. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'll catch you on the next one. All right. So back over here before I get my face slapped, because Miss Mila's pretty rough on me about that stuff. But we have comments and questions. Throw them. Let's throw them. All right. Good explanation on the difference between a driver and a carrier. Lease on works well for me because I understand the structure and I keep the carrier best interest in mind. Absolutely. The carrier's best interest, Jim, is your best interest.
Yeah, that's right.
Think about this. If you're running, okay, and you get put out of service, for example, what happens is the carrier's CSA score goes up. It affects your PSP score, driver's license, okay, and that's your background check. So when insurance goes keying, what are they going to see? They're going to see that. They're going to go back and look at it, and they're going to see who it was. So next thing that happens is insurance rate go up. Look, there's no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's it. It's a structure. You're joining a structure, and if it's a good structure, that it flows together. And like you said, you have their best interest, and they have your best interest, and it's a relationship, and that's a good way to look at that, and that's a good mindset to have on that. They're all the things, even the things that you find annoying, like maybe there's safety and what it is, but it's all in the interest of everybody, so everybody can make money and do it the right way, be safe about it, and operate long term.
We got a question here from Mr. Ashford. How often do carriers get audited, and what gets reviewed during the audit? DOT audits we got audited after 2 years, but that was in the beginning. That was COVID, so nobody audited anybody. Everybody got a break. We got audited, and all kidding aside, the stack of paper they requested was that thick. And what gets audited will be your IFTAs, will be your drug screening. They'll ask for one qualified driver's file, or maybe two, and they'll say, give me driver this and driver that. They'll want a list of drivers, their numbers, and then they can go in the back door there and pull all the PSP and audit or past inspections, failed inspections. They can see all that. And what happens is within your score, when I go to the FMCSA site and I pull down the score, it goes from 0, which is perfect, to 100. Anything over 80 requires an audit. Okay. Our score is 37. So that's pretty good. Now, we had a period of time when we had several drivers screw up really bad. Of course, they're no longer with us, but they screwed up really bad. And our stuff jumped up to 70 for a little bit. And then I got it back down. But, you know, you can't take those risks, guys. You get somebody that won't slow down, that is constantly being pinged for, hard braking, hard acceleration, all this stuff. You just can't stay. You can't risk it.
And the mentality of a driver who thinks, well, it's my truck. Why do I can speed if I want? Well, again, you're not under your authority. So no, we are responsible for you. So no, you can't.
You can't just do what you want. Right.
Exactly.
So what else we got? Michael, welcome back. Is the carrier insurance based on an aggregate for the drivers or leased on? It's mainly this. Okay. This is such a freaking sore spot in my ass. And carriers based, it is not based on an aggregate anymore. Used to be. Now it's based on the home domicile of the lease on driver. That's what it's based on. You can sit there and look on your $1 million policy at where the best prices are. We have no control over that. I'm trying to do something to where we can get everybody in the same spot. But if I do that, it hurts some drivers and helps others. So it's right now, it's just a cluster how they're doing it. I hope that answered your question. All right, Mr. Copeland, one big mental block for most people is the general lack of public understanding for authority and agency. Yeah, I get it, man. They just don't understand it. And the guy that called me, I'm not joking. He said, hey, I've been driving for a while. I have a snow plowing company or something up in somewhere. Not doing very good for me. I'd like to get into Hotshot. I did it before, and I've got my own this and own that and da-da-da-da-da. I said, yeah. And he said, well, can I go ahead and lease on? How long will that take? And I said, probably about a month. And he said, well, I don't understand why it'd take a month. Well, because there's a ton of paperwork to do. And then he said to me, well, can I see the load boards and get my own freight and run them? I said, absolutely not. You come under our authority. Dispatch is my responsibility. No. He said, well, so basically I just work for you. I said, no, you're a businessman. You don't work for me. You work with me.
Yeah.
But you don't work with me, or you don't work for me. And you have to understand that I'm in control and have to be in control. It's not like I want to be in control.
Yeah, right.
Right?
It'd be so great if we didn't have to all these regulations. I would be great to just go drive. And if you kill someone, it's not my responsibility.
Yeah, you just go over there. Great. It doesn't affect me if you do. That'd be great, wouldn't it? No, It doesn't work that way. So, yeah, I totally get it. What else we got? Mr. Johnson. This is one of our guys right here. Says, well, I finally remember the show. I called it at the end. Hello from wherever I'm at. Somewhere at Love's in Oklahoma. This Richard right here says, hi, all just got parked in Macon, Georgia. Would you believe some young kid with a semi at the fuel pumps asked me how to air up
Ooh.
his tire? I laughed a bit and told him through the valve stem. Are you shitting me?
No, they're not.
I don't understand. I was
Did you
told,
see who
I
he
was
drove
told
for?
that,
I can imagine that was one of the three carriers. I got three
yeah,
carriers
I
in
was
my mind.
told under no uncertain terms today or this week that a perspective told me point blank that they did not teach him to drive. They taught him the test, how to pass the test.
Yeah.
That's what he was told, or what I was told by him. And I just can't believe that. It infuriates me. Thanks, Richard. I appreciate you, bro. Nothing else? Good deal. Rome, you got something else?
No, I just that goes some of those questions, like the guy you were talking about who was asking, that kind of goes to the online question you had on the first online question one or whatever it was in the beginning. You know, I think that's these people just have to understand, like, you can't just go around doing what you want, but at the same time, no, you don't. They don't work for you either. And that's
Right.
why I like to use the franchise model as like, think about it like like you're a franchisee for a restaurant. You know,
Right.
you
Hey,
they're
let me ask Richard a question. We
yeah.
got some. Hey guys, if you guys are leased on, if anybody's here that's leased on to me, could you please just type up something real quick to send to Mila so I can post it? But here's the question for you. When you're on the road, do you feel like you work for somebody with us? That's what I would like to know. And I don't know who's going to answer it. Mila's going to put it on here. But do you feel like you work with, or you work for somebody or with somebody with us? So if one of you can type that out, that'd be interesting to see.
Be honest, it's okay.
Yeah, you say whatever you want. I try to learn every day.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, be honest. I have your address.
Well, but I think the way you ended that, the start of the show, though, before you went to let's talk about it, I think that is the takeaway people should go should take away from that is it's a structure. It really is. It's a structure. And you know, some of these people don't have good structures, and you know, it's unfortunate, and they'll be dealt with as time goes on. But you're joining a structure, and then I'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, I got you. Is anybody else answered? With that feeling has mostly worn off, but yes, I don't understand what that means. With you, absolutely. Okay, good. So most of the guys have got that. So, you know, the working for thing, I try, you know, I'm a no bullshit guy. I tell them like it is, good or bad. And, you know, we have our structure, we have our protocol. This is how we do things. Some people like it, some people may not, but this is how we do stuff. So, one more. Albert Murphy. Hey, buddy, I'm glad. I feel that you, DD214, is helping me make my business run. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
That's good to hear.
So, anyway, guys, so we do have more people over there. I say hey to everybody. She won't let me go back in. If you're not here when I say hey, you just missed it. So,
we missed you. Sorry.
It's a one and done type of thing because I get over there and start reading stuff. But anyway, you know, it's Wednesday. We're here. Roman, I appreciate it. I know you're tired, buddy. You got a long day.
It's all good, man.
So You got one more? Bryan Johnson. I've come to realize I decide my fate ultimately. When I want to run, when I want to go home, the choice to run a load or not. I only refuse one that didn't make sense to me. And there you go. There you go. That's your freedom. So, you know, it's just one more. Who's saying?
Bring on.
Ashford was someone that deals with with someone that deals with the garbage I don't want to deal with.
Yeah, that's a good way to
Thank you,
think of
man.
it too. I mean,
yeah, this back
that's the advantage of leasing on with someone, right?
Yeah,
Is they deal with the stuff that you don't want to deal with.
Oh, Jim Frax, thanks. Much respect for you, sir.
Thank
thanks,
you,
Roman, for being on the show.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
Roman and I go way back, man, and
yeah,
you know, he's still out there hustling every day, running containers. So, you know, respect. Yeah, you guys want to see? I'm going to tell you this real quick, and then I'm going to get off here. But so he and I talk every day. He's like my work wife. But so every once in a while, we're driving down the road, and I'm like, "Where are you at?" He'll be like, "Oh, I'm on 77 running south." I'm saying, "Shit, I'm on 77 running north." Like two children.
counting miles
on my woo-woos and on my lights, and then as we pass each other, it never fails. We're both like this. Hey!
I know, right? Waving down, yeah. Like we haven't seen each other. Like, yeah, hey, look.
Yeah. It's just you know, it's just funny. But all right, so we're going to call this a day. We have nothing else. No. Is Roman Lease don't? No.
No, I'm not.
No, Roman is my brother from another mother. So
I'm a consultant for DD2.
He's a consultant. He is a, what I call it? A transportation engineer.
Yeah. No, logistics engineer.
A logistics engineer.
Logistics engineer. That's right.
All right. So, guys, listen, this is Bryan with DD214. As Roman, I'm going to get off here so you can go to bed. Don't ever forget, love your family because it's all you got. All right. So, please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications, and we will see you next week. Have a great day. I might want to hit end. See you.
Jeans in a 4x4, cruising down your front door. From a 4-6 pack and a whiskey neat, some dive bar right up the street. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, go with me. Riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a western swing on an old jukebox, a tailgate party in a parking lot. I'm rowdy rough, big and grown, I get it done all on my own. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, and go with me. Riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a cowboy hat, a ripped up shirt, tractor pulling out in the dirt. Hot cup of coffee with a cigarette, pretty little thing sitting on my hip. I'm a good old boy in a country